Thanks, Leah, for asking the question of why. As a pastor, it's like the number one question that I get. Why disease? Why famine? Why crime? Why earthquakes? Why do good people suffer bad things? And there's a few answers that come along with those questions. First of all, my bachelor's is philosophy, my master's is philosophy of religion, and my doctoral work is all philosophy as well. So I'm aware of the questions and the struggles with the answers. And it's okay to question, and it's okay to ask those questions. It's okay to be frustrated too. The Bible says that we are to be like the Bereans. We're supposed to ask questions. We're supposed to help people understand the answers that God provides. And if we don't understand the answers ourselves, how are we going to help others to understand those exact same answers? So here's an example. Disease and famine. We live in a fallen world. We live in a world where human beings have worshipped themselves for millennia, and it's no wonder why God would have just let go of the strings and allowed us to deal with life without Him. We have disease and famine, and those things were never meant to be here. But we want a godless world as a people. And God says, if that's what you want, you can have it. He did the same thing with the Jews in the Old Testament, where they wanted a king. And God said, wanting a king is rejection of me. But what did God do? He gave them a king. Over and over again, God has given us what we've wanted. And here we are in a situation where we have famine and disease, and we've asked for it. We wanted a godless world, and for the most part, we live in one. What about crime? Why do good people suffer? And this question just boils down to freedom. We have free will. The same freedom that you have to worship the God of the universe, to accept the gift of salvation, also simultaneously gives you the exact same freedom to reject that message. So millions of people hear the gospel every day and they reject it. Millions of people get the gospel every day and accept it. And then there's all kinds of examples of this when it comes to truth. We have people who hear the truth of whatever, gunpowder. You can say all day long you don't believe in gunpowder, but the first time somebody puts a gun to your head, doesn't matter how much you don't believe in gunpowder, if they pull the trigger, you're going to die. So the problem is that we just, as a people again, we don't accept truth unless it fits into our schema. We want to believe what we want to believe. We don't want to believe that there's truth outside of ourselves, but 2 plus 2 is 4. It doesn't matter what your opinion is. If you believe 2 plus 2 is 5, you're wrong. You can reject that truth to your own peril. But the fact of the matter is that truth does exist. And as long as human beings continue to reject the truth, and continue to reject the love that God has called us to live, people are still going to be hurt. The Old Testament is full of examples of prophets. Example, Jeremiah, saying to God, God, I have something against you. Why do good people suffer and the wicked people prosper? This has been a lifelong problem that human beings have been dealing with. And the thing is, again, it's because life is absurd. We live in a world where human beings run the show. God gave us the planet, we rejected His guidance and wisdom, and God has given the earth over to us, and we have wrecked it. We've ruined it. And then we wonder why God doesn't help more. It's because we've rejected His guidance. Why doesn't God stop earthquakes or tsunamis? Because we don't want Him to. The only thing that we want is God to bless us. We don't want God's truth, and we don't want God's guidance. So it's no wonder that we have evil, because we're evil people. We can't control the freedom of our neighbor, but we can control our own thoughts and emotions. And we need to choose to daily pick up our cross and serve the Lord that we love. I'm actually going to be doing an entire series on the hard questions. So if you guys want to follow along, you can go to YouTube or Facebook and follow along and maybe learn a little more English as you go. Or if you have any questions, feel free to post them to our Facebook page or email Leah, and then she can let me know. Anyway, it's nice to be with you guys, and I hope that I was able to help answer some of these questions just a little bit. God bless you guys, and have a good day.